Hi, this is Srinivas Tamada, founder of 9 Lessons. Today I'm going to talk about how to implement signature module with Ionic 3 and Angular 4. This is a little new and it's exactly same like Angular 2 because they just updated few bugs and they added few components and they released a version called Angular 4, but there is no much change. So this is what the tutorial today, like, you can click this button and then you can sign it and you can save that image, or like if you want you can clear it off, or you sign it off and you can clear it off. You can do multiple actions here, like generally this you can use it for like retail domain projects, like if you want to go to your customer home and take the customer signature for any agreements, this module is really helpful. uh, okay, let's start from the scratch, like uh, how I implemented with the Angular 4. uh, let's start. Now let's build this project from the scratch. Now I'm killing this project by clicking Ctrl C, and I'm changing the directory to different one, the work. Now this URL not work. So let's start a project like mm, uh, okay, use Ionic. Start. Before that you need to install the Ionic. I already explained in my previous video, you can look into that. This is your project name, like Angular 4 and signature, and this is actually v2, but Ionic has updated 2 days back, I guess. Like now you will see all the new libraries with Ionic 4. Let's create this project and open it, and I'll show you how the package.json is creating. Let me open my project from the work project. Now it started creating it. Let's see, it's the files are still loading. Now you will see this. Now Ionic is giving all the Angular 4.0 components. Before it was 2.8, but now they updated it, and the Ionic Angular as well 3.0. So that's the reason I named it as Ionic 3 and Angular 4 project. Let's work on this. Like let me adjust everything, and this will take some time to install all the dependencies, like node modules. And on top of that we are going to use this Angular signature. You will find these packages in node module. Yep, now the packages are installed. Now I'm changing the directory to Ionic 3. This is a new project now. So this is what all your files. You can run this project like Ionic serve. So this will create an internal server, and I mean node server, and it'll run. Yep, this will run at localhost 8100. And now I'm just minimizing this. So let me open a new tab for future installs. Let it be like this. Now all your files in the source, like the pages, like about, home, and tabs and contact, I can, if you want, I'll change some home.html for instant changes. Like, see, I'm just deleting it. Let's save this, and you will see the instant changes here. Some name it as a signature project. And now this project required a new page, like like this for to display signature. So I just want to create a new page like this. I usually, if you want, you can copy and rename it, but instead of that you can use a simple command in the Ionic, like Ionic G means generate and page signature. So once I hit this, this will create a signature page. You will see now. So there is a signature page came, but this initially will get some errors, so we don't want this. So you can delete off this as, and in the TS, and you no need to use this. We are not going to use this, and this one as well, and we don't want this, and this one, and this one, and this. Let's see now how this works. Now if you see, this is what we are going to work. Let me rename this to page because we are going to use some modules. Let me import this. This is required for future use, like ng pumps for, this is like navigations, like routing things, like you can transfer the data through routers. Okay, let it be this. So this is what the signature page is ready now. You see, this will create all the HTML file and SAS file as well. Let me delete this off. Now back to the home page. Like now I just want to create a small button. Like you can create a button like button and button, like I'm giving just open signature, and if you see this later, see this, you'll see small button. We are now enabling some class called ion button, and full means it'll occupy everything. So this is what the button. For this we are actually connecting to the signature page. So yeah, now let's go to the home.ts file, and now we are going to write some action for this. So for this, like I'm going to use Ionic model controller to open the signature page. So I'm like importing like model controller. So this is what the model controller with now params. This is for like changing the pages, and now we need to import these here, like public and this one with let me give a small name here for conflicts, and the same way for the nav pumps, like public yeah. So we imported in the constructor now, so we are going to use these, and inside the like using this we can. So now I'm going to create a small function like open signature model. So like you can create a small variable like using like model, like you can import this model to open it, this dot model dot create. So here we are going to import the page. So I'm going to import the signature page first. So that's called signature page from signature and in the signature. And this page we're going to use here. And now model dot present to open up the new page. Let me click this. Okay, nothing is happening because we haven't imported the page in the main module. So go to apps. Whenever you create a new page, you have to import here, like signature page from signature in the signature, and this one you have to import this here and here as well. And now let me open this. I guess I haven't connected to this button, so like click, and I'm calling this function here. See, and you'll see the change now. When I click this, you'll get the signature page. Like in the HTML, I can write something like some text. You'll see the changes now. See the changes. So now let's install this plugin called Angular Signature Pad. So these are the instructions. This will give you the signature pad options, and let me install that. So yeah, now I install this. Now we need to import this in the main component because it's imported. So you will see all the instructions here. Let me import this in the main component. So import and signature. Let me copy this from Angular. Yeah, you will see this auto session. So this one we need to import this in the importers. Let me import this here. So now here it's done. Now we are going to use it in the main signature because this page only we are going to use. So I'm going to use that. Import the same way. So this is what the instructions here. From Angular to signature pad / signature pad. So now this one we are going to use it, like we're going to import this. So there are some instructions here you can follow. I'm exactly following that. So this comes with a directive. So this is called view child. Let's this is called the signature pad, and make it as a public, and signature equal to this one. We are assigning this to here, and so we need to import the view child. So sometimes it will create automatically, so install that. You can import it here and delete this off. Yep. So now we imported this pad. So for this there are some instructions to some options. So these are the options by default I'm using. So instead of this I'm changing to 340 and height is 200. This is actually, it will create a canvas. So now let me go to the signature.html and import that, import the directive. It's a signature pad options. The options, you can import these options here. Yes. Oops, sorry. So we imported the options, and if you want, you can give some ID, like some ID like signature canvas for future use if you want to implement anything, but there is no use of this. Let me see how this got created. Let me open this and see. Yeah, so this is what the block created here. So let me give some borders, so that way you can identify the canvas block. So this is what you can write as signature pad. Usually it works here. I'm directly writing canvas, and I'm giving some border like 1px dashed like hash 333 at some dark hash color. Let's see now. You'll see this border. Yep, now design has been completed, and let me introduce some buttons here like for cancel, clear, and done. So I'm here like now. Here like in Ionic there is a grid component, like you can use grid like a bootstrap, and close this up, and inside that you can create an ion row. Inside that you can divide the blocks with like 12 blocks, so you can divide into different columns like column 4, because I'm going to create 3 buttons now. Yep, let me create a button here. Button, ion button, and full, and color, like there are a few colors, default colors, and that colors I'm going to use. Like for red I'm going to use danger. You'll find all these options in the Ionic components. So this is what the cancel, same thing, I'm going to repeat it. So total 444, it's 12 blocks. So this is like some light color for clear. This is a label, and this is a primary or secondary, some secondary color, I think green. So done. Let's see the change now. So when I open this, see, you'll find all these 3 different buttons, like this clear for we need to clear the signature, and done to take this signature to the home page, and cancel also, it's like triggering back to the home page. That's what we are going to do. Now back to the signature.ts, we are going to introduce few buttons, like for these 3, like initially, like this component, like Ionic signature, it will give you a B64 encoding string. So that's why initially I'm creating a small variable called public component, like signature image. For future use, it's just a string. Now let me create a draw complete, I mean done. So there is a draw complete, means once you completed the signature, like this comes here. So let me use this component, this signature image. So here you will get it like this dot signature pad, using the signature pad, and getting the signature information is like you will get it here. This is a built-in components. So now this actually is a B64 code, and now this is what the signature data. And if you want, we can try like console log and see what is coming inside here. Like see, and let me print this and enable this function in done option, like you click and equal to and this function. Let me save and let me enable the inspect element, this mode, full mode, and let me show you how the signature it will create. Now when I click done, see, this is what the signature data. So that data we are going to use. This is the best option in Ionic. This for even its desktop, the model view comes in this way. So anyway, we are going to use for mobile development, so you don't need to worry about it. That's anyway advanced option. So the same way I'm going to create a draw clear. So I mean, this is for clearing the signature. So this dot signature pad dot clear. This is also a built-in function to clear the canvas data, and this one I'm going to use it here. So let me add it for here. Now see, I can draw it and I can click clear it off. So this is what that function works. And now, and the main thing is now we need to pass this data to the next page. I mean, whenever I click the done, we need to pass this information to the next page. I mean the home page. Look, let's first we need to connect to the home page from the signature. So here I'm going to use this is what the base 64 code. So usually like this, we have a nav control. So I deleted some time back, so I need to import it again. Let me copy it from here. So this helps you to navigate to different pages, and that one I am importing here. Like yeah, let me copy it from this. Yeah, this is what this same name I'll use. So I imported here the nav control. So this one, using this one, using now navigation control, I am shifting to the home page. So this is called a push to home page. So we need to import this home page here, because otherwise you'll get an error. So you have to import this module from the same like home and the home. So now you just see this now how this works. Now I'm just this how it will work is like when I click this, it will go to the home page now. So when I click this, sign it, click it, it will go to the home page, but we are not transferring any data. So now how you're going to transfer the data is like, and this is a parameter, like I know which parameter you're going to set the data. Here also I'm going to use the same name because it will be unique everywhere. To I'm assigning this value to this, so you can get the data from this attribute, like parameter attribute. So in home, from the home page, see now the data is here. Now go to the home page. let's get this data. Now back to the home page, like in the main controller, like This is an initial controller. So this is what like the same name again I'm creating here. So this again a string, so this I'm assigning here. So this value is like we need to get the information from the parameter value. So I'm using this parameter. This will help you to get that. So get and the name of the parameter. So this is what the data we are getting. So now the data is here. So this data we need to bind with the HTML. So let me create a small div. So that's an image. So I'm creating a div tag, and inside that I'll use that inside the image. So that's the binding data. So use the source like this, and here use the signature image. So that signature image refers to this. This is the data, and here is the signature image, and save. And if you want, you can use ng if there is no data like initially, it will not display the block. So now we are binding to the HTML. Now whenever I click it, the data passes from here to here, and the value is setting here, and this value I am printing it here. Let's see how this works. I click this, I signed it up, and done. See, you got this data. The data is here, and in this one. So here. Yep, hope you all understand this. So the same way for cancel also, I'm going to set something like I'm going to use draw cancel for like closing that part. So here, same the navigation part, but instead of this, I'm not sending anything, so it's empty data. So that means we are not sending anything to the so in the home, I mean home module. So this one I'm going to import this in the signature. Let's enable it here. Like click. Yep, now cancel also ready. And whenever I open, and you can sign it up and cancel, it will not take anything. See, and clear, and done. So now we need to do small tweaks like in the signature. Sometime you'll get some errors, like whenever I launch it, sometime always whenever I launch I need to clear the data. So that for the best thing is like sometime it'll be in the scope. So I'm going to use like ng after view initialization, after view initialization. So I'm going to clear the signature like this dot signature pad dot clear, because why I'm clearing it, whenever see it comes here if you launch the signature model, it comes here. Let's see, and I'll show you the inspect element. So whenever I launch it, it comes here. See, so that's the way it will clear the canvas data. So that way you can reduce the memory. Like sometime it will be useful. So anyway, I'm just going back to this. Okay, let's see. If you see this, there is a big problem with this canvas. See, if you increase this width, like this is actually fixed height and width, so that will be a, like if you're working with the multiple devices, it's wasting of the space. Instead of this, like we can use you can make it 100%, but problem with the canvas is like I'll show you now. let me make it like width 100% and height, anyway height is like 200 px. Let's see this. Now if you see this, and whenever you change it, this is increasing, it'll adjust the width, but the signature sometime it's coming in a wrong place. See, the mouse placement is different, so because of we need to reset the canvas every time whenever you change the dimension. So for that, like, you can write a small small function to reset the canvas. Like, let me write a small canvas reset a canvas resize function. Like, so here, like, you will get the canvas information, like using document dot query selector. It's in the, and this is a canvas. So now I'm taking the canvas info, and now here I'm forcing to set the canvas information. Like, instead of this, I'm setting here, like, you can set like signature pad dot set. So here I'm setting this canvas width. So this canvas dot offset width, this gives you the exact width of the device width. Like, whenever you are in the different resolutions, it will give you the width, and the same way I'm setting the height as well. So that way you'll not face any like mismatching, like if you using for a landscape mode. So this will help you. So we need to trigger this function, like inside this, like whenever I launch it, it'll reset. So use this. Now see if I'm in the different resolution right now, and let me refresh this and see. Now that'll adjust based on this, and whenever I change it, and it'll adjust. I mean, you need to refresh because in devices you'll not find anything. So now this is the default initial stage, but after that we are forcing to change with the new width and height. Here, if you want, you can change the like, if you want, this is a big you can change this minimum width, like pen width to 1. Like, I mean, you can change to 1 for smaller things. So you can see this, it'll be like I'm just auto signature, like, yeah. So now we complete the resize as well. Yep. And whenever you see, like, whenever I click cancel, there is a back button is coming, because that's a default behavior. Because this is a main page, whenever I open it, if I go cancel, it's considered as a back button. So we need to hide that, otherwise it will be very bad. So so there is an option in the navbar, like here you can hide it, like hide on back button, make it true. So now if you see it, I'm hiding the back button, so you'll not find the back option here. And yeah, that's it, like almost done. But I suggest you to write a set, because sometime the signature module takes some time. So that's why I always prefer to use some set timeout for making little delay for loading all other components. So like, you can use set timeout, and this way, like set timeout function, in the TypeScript, like, and some you can give some 200 milliseconds. So use this part inside this, so that way like you'll not face any freezing issues or something, like, because it'll adjust proper way. So so it will delay some 200 milliseconds and launch the model. See now see this, everything is done now. So you can use the signature in the PDF wherever you want, and you can pass this base64 to your RESTful API to capture this information, I mean user information. So thanks a lot, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Twitter at 9lessons, and keep following me on 9lessons.info, and thanks for your support. Yeah, now you can build this into iPhone app, like, Ionic build iOS. Yeah, the same way you can build for Ionic build Android. You can see this in the platforms. There's iOS folder, and now you can open this with this Xcode project. You can open with like Xcode, like, and you can launch this with your Xcode, and you can like generate the iPhone app. So this way you can like do the same for the Android. Thank you.